Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo. Iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin. Sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo. Iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang lagi ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo. Buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo. Iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin. Sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Sumasaya Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba, dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Bawat bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang kupunan. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, MPBL na! MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. MPBL na! Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, sa Luzon, sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ang bawat laban ay nakakakaba, dahil sa husay ng bawat isa. Sigawan ay yumayanig kapag nag 3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo. Basketball na muna tayo, iwasan na ang mga bisyo. Sports ang laging iisipin, sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
It's another beautiful day for Philippine basketball, and we are proud to be coming to you live for the second time in MPBL history here inside the University of Benguet campus in Abra. And as we celebrate the month of August for our beloved league, we now present to you another triple header for the MPBL's 6th season, beginning with the Mindoro Tamaraws and the Quezon Huskers, who are looking to bounce back off of their first loss of the season. And again, we are so happy to be coming to you from the home of the Abra Weavers. And there you see JJ Caspe coming off of his triple-double. He will go up against one of the legends that we have in the MPBL in Gab Banal, who already has registered a couple of triple-doubles as well in his MPBL career. And of course, he is a former MVP of our beloved league. That's our first game for today, and that will be followed by Pangasinan versus South Cotabato, and then the Abra Weavers will be defending their home court against the Iloilo United Royals. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya. And Javi, we featured JJ Caspe just a while ago. Off of his triple-double, I'd like you to break down his newfound potential in the MPBL.
Yeah, you know, he's a guy that has already proven that he can be the main man in the future para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. In fact, that position might even be in the fray for him in a few games now. This is a good time for him to take over, especially now that Mindoro is in a dire position in the Southern Division team standings.
Well, it's not just him. In terms of the future of Mindoro, we started building up this narrative of a potential big three for them. You have Claude Camit as well adding into the mix, and JB De La Cruz, who already has finals MVP on his resume when he played for that Paula team. That adds into the mix for these Tamaraws. Now, as we transition onto these Quezon Huskers, their opponents for today, we have to talk about their recent loss. And why don't we get an update from our courtside reporter, Andrea Enricio. Andrea, kamusta nga ba ang Quezon team?
Una sa lahat, magandang hapon sa inyo. And yes, Migs, unfortunately, Quezon suffered their first loss of the season in their previous game against Pasay, taking away their chance para masweep itong elimination rounds. But kwento nga sa akin ng kanilang assistant coach na si Coach Richie Tigson, at dito na lang ako napasana all, no? Yung ine-expect daw nila na broken-hearted, down at malungkot na team the next day during practice, lahat ganadong mag-ensayo, lahat gigil na gigil magkaroon ng comeback. Well, will that loss against Pasay be their catapult for a major comeback? Abangan natin yan. Mix and Javi.
A lot of people are actually saying na buti nga ngayon na nangyari ang first loss of the season for the Quezon Huskers, kaysa naman na mabigla sila at the latter part of our 6th campaign. Now let's break down our team standings, beginning with the North.
Two of our 6 teams that are playing today here in Abra are part of this North Division. Abra is currently at number 6 right now. They're at 11-7. Still not impossible for them to make the top 4, but yet they definitely want to be able to do that, to have home court advantage in the playoffs. While Pangasinan currently at number 11 right now at 7-13. All their remaining games are a must-win for them, and they can only hope that Quezon City, Valenzuela, and Caloocan will be starting to pile up losses for them to have a big chance of making the Final 8 in the Northern Division.
As we transition into the South, wala na po tayong makikitang 0 losses in that portion of the Quezon Huskers.
Yeah, Quezon, despite that loss, still holds the number 1 spot here in the Southern Division, but it's not impossible for Zamboanga, Davao Occidental, Batangas City, and South Cotabato to overtake them at the top. South Cotabato, they're hoping to tie Davao Occidental and Zamboanga later on with a win against Pangasinan, while Mindoro, there's a remaining 8 games. They have to win at least 6 of those remaining 8 games to be able to have a chance to make the Final 8 in the Southern Division. And also, their fate is not anymore in their hands. They are gonna hope that those teams na nasa taas sa kanila will be also piling up some losses.
Now let's go down to the technicalities of that previous game of the Quezon Huskers. It happened inside the Cuneta Astrodome, where Pasay continues to be having another splendid season there in that venue. So the Voyagers won by 3 points versus the previously undefeated Huskers.
Yeah, you know, Quezon here in this game, they had a slow start in the first 5 minutes. They were down 5-10, 18-24 after the first quarter. Their struggles continued up until the third quarter, but in the fourth period, they were able to make a comeback, erasing a 17-point deficit midway into that final period. You could see here the numbers, and there are 14 three-pointers. That is a lot of mix from beyond the arc. This really kept them in the game and was a big factor of how they were able to make a comeback. Mayor Mark Alcala, Gab Banal, Topeng Lagrama, each had 3 3-pointers to be able to contribute to those 14 shots from the outside. Unfortunately, they gave away too much points inside the paint, which Pasay used as a catapult to really have a good start and earn this victory against the Quezon Huskers.
It was like a battle between 2s and 3s in that game. That's actually a common narrative that we have for Quezon, especially if you date back into their first campaign in the MPBL. That was in Season 5. But now let's talk about the Mindoro Tamaraws, who did not actually have their 2 coaches present in their previous outing in Pangasinan. There's Coach J.R. Kawaling making his return alongside Coach Jens Nutel. It was still a promising outing for them versus Bataan.
Yeah, but just like the Huskers, they also found themselves trailing after the first quarter by 4, and then Bataan extended their lead to 8 at the half, then 13 heading into the fourth quarter. They also trailed by as much as 17 points on the way to their 3rd straight loss. However, JJ Caspe still was able to make a good game out of it, having that historical triple-double. And he's really trying to cement his spot as one of the top players here para sa Mindoro Tamaraws. You look at the numbers here, they missed way too many free throws despite attempting 42. That's too much misses if you're the Mindoro Tamaraws. If you're given that much opportunities at the line, you better make sure that you knock them down. Isipin mo naman, if they knock down just a little bit more in that game, they would have made a ball game out of it against the Bataan Risers. And also, they gave up way too many fast break points. That's one of the loopholes sa kanilang, or rather one of the holes that they have in this campaign. They give up way too many fast break points. Transition defense is really an issue para sa mga bata ni Coach J.R. Kawaling.
Let's see if they can stop the Huskers from running in Abra in today's outing, and also can they make their free throws? That's going to be one of our biggest questions for the Mindoro Tamaraws. Let's get things going as we turn you over to Miguel Perez.
And on Filipinas Live app, time to meet our starters. First, for the Quezon Huskers. Starting at center, number 41, Jesse Saitanan. Guard number 13, LJ Gonzalez. Off guard number 2, Judel Fuentes. Forward number 5, Simon Sendagon. And the other forward number 77, Gab Banal. The Quezon Huskers will be led by Richie Tixon, with Nash, Rosella, Ed De La Torre, Luis Olasco, Jonathan De Guzman, and Bernard De Guia. Team manager is attorney Don Capunan. Team owners are Governor Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Now, the starting 5 for Mindoro Tamaraws. Starting at guard number 12, JJ Caspe. 2 guard number 14, Tate Chodoro. Center number 6, Lester Reyes. Forward number 21, JB De La Cruz. And the other forward number 22, Quint Ariar. Their head coach is J.R. Kawaling. Assistant coaches Jens Nutel, TJ Marquez, and JC Libunao. Team manager is Rafael Martinez. Team owner is Paula Oriental Mindoro. Honorable Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz.
Our first game for today will feature the Quezon Huskers taking on the Mindoro Tamaraws, followed by South Cotabato and Pangasinan, and then it's the Abra Weavers defending their home court against the Iloilo United Royals as we come to you live from the University of Benguet campus. 8 hours north of Metro Manila, we are in Abra, proud to present to you another triple header for our beloved Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. These starting 5s are brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. LJ Gonzalez, Judel Fuentes, Jesse Saitanan, Simon Sandagon, and Gab Banal will look to bounce back after their first win of the season as they take on JJ Caspe, Tate Teodoro, Lester Reyes, JB De La Cruz, and Quint Ariar of the Mindoro Tamaraws, who are looking to snap a 3-game losing skid. On the other hand, LJ Gonzalez had to save the ball off of that tip-off, and so the Quezon Huskers will get first possession.
The usual starters for the team of Coach Richie Tixon, who is taking over on an interim basis, while Coach Eric Gonzalez is with the UP Fighting Maroons in career. That's a good sign for the Huskers. Saitanan scoring their first basket of the game. I think this is an area that they would want to explore to give them variety on their offense, to have guys like Saitanan score inside the paint.
After all, Jesse Saitanan is one of the veterans that we have in this Quezon Huskers team. Simon Sandagon is very happy to have his presence as a kuya. But why not have more points coming from him here in the 6th season of the MPBL. And off of their stop, this is Judel Fuentes giving it up to Sandagon. Quezon looking for an opening. That is a steal. And a steal back for LJ Gonzalez. Leading on to a 3 for Gab Banal.
Specialty of the house right there para kay Gab Banal. He was one of those 3 guys who scored 3 3-point shots out of the 14 makes of the Quezon Huskers against the Pasay Voyagers. But all of those points by Gab Banal from beyond the arc were the only points that he scored in that game.
He only took 1 2-pointer and 0 free throws for Gab Banal inside the Cuneta Astrodome. Tate Teodoro, 8 on the shot clock. In trouble, he's fouled. That's on LJ Gonzalez.
Yeah, you think you're doing a good job defensively if you're LJ Gonzalez staying in front of Tate Teodoro, but his craftiness just really brings out a lot of problems here. Was the counter steal by LJ Gonzalez, finding Gab Banal in the corner. Poor defense right there on the recovery for the Mindoro Tamaraws.
Always love to see that connection between LJ and Gab. Whether it's LJ passing or Gab Banal passing, it just works for the Huskers with these 2 great talents in the MPBL.
And for the Quezon Huskers, you know, they're really secure here having LJ Gonzalez in their roster. You could expect him to be back next year. So wala dapat ikaalala ang mga fans ng Quezon Huskers because this core will be solid for years to come.
At the start of the season, Javi, did you actually have some concern about Gonzalez meshing with Banal and this guy, Judel Fuentes?
Actually, no, because LJ is very much a team player despite him being able to put up dominant numbers. But, you know, he's a guy that's willing to do anything to make his team succeed. So this is no surprise for me that he's meshing well with these other big names in this Quezon roster.
LJ, by the way, is our front runner for Rookie of the Year so far in the 6th season of the MPBL. He just got the board off of that Mindoro miss. And LJ was fouled as he was attacking. Everything happened so fast.
Really one of the,
by Tate Teodoro.
really one of the fastest guys in the league. Itong si LJ Gonzalez, especially with that basketball. It's one thing to be fast while you're running without the rock, but another thing to have that basketball and be quick.
Kickball violation on Kit Ariar. It's 5-1 with almost 2.5 minutes gone by here in Abra. Judel Fuentes will be inbounding from the sideline. Andrea mentioned that Quezon had their spirits up high after that loss versus Pasay City. Another factor for the Huskers was the fact that they actually had team building. So para sila nag-field trip, sabi sa atin ni Simon Sandagon, it happened in Quezon Province. They had some shooting range practices. Kumbaga, ibang klaseng shooting naman para sa kanila. Pero, ang shooters pa rin nila ang nagwagi. First place ay si Francis Tamsi, who's still injured by the way. Second place, si Domark Matiliano, who was a 3-point king back in Season 4 of the MPBL. And then, third place was Judel Fuentes. And now, let's go back to Andrea Indicio for more stories.
Hindi man siya present in their previous game, Coach J.R. Kawaling is now back with his team fresh from Taiwan. At sabi nga niya, kahit medyo slim na talaga yung chances nila to enter the playoffs, his goal remains the same, which is to change the culture of this team. Kwento niya, as someone who went under the tutelage of Coach Tim Ko, nakuha niya yung importansya ng pagiging pamilya ng isang team. In his words, he said, "My job is fulfilled pag nakikita ko silang naghahatakan at hindi nagpapagalingan." Tip niya nga sa players niya, when you're inside the court, don't think of your family at home. Think of your family inside the court. Mix and have you.
Gotta love that. Thank you, Andrea, for that report. This also explains the triangle offense that Mindoro has been running in our campaign. And speaking of family, actually, that familiar treatment extends onto the home of J.R. Kawaling because he does house 2 players. One of them is Kint Ariar, and the other is JJ Casper.
Oh,
they
wow.
live with J.R. Kawaling.
You know, that's somehow an advantage for you if you are the player living with your coach. Because araw-araw magkakasama kayo at araw-araw you can learn new things from each other. That nice pass right there coming from Gab Banal. Finding Jesse Saitanan once again very active here at the start of the game.
There's J.R. Kawaling being the coach on and off the court for the Mindoro Tamaraws. those two players did tell me that the coaching continues up until their dining table. So the learning continues for them as De La Cruz fires in downtown. That was too strong. Ball tapped away and recovered by Mindoro. 4 minutes gone by in this game. The Tamaraws have only scored 3 points so far. De La Cruz, 5 seconds. Tough shot. No good.
The Huskers playing good defense here in the first quarter, really forcing the Mindoro Tamaraws to improvise on their shots.
LJ Gonzalez onto Simon Sandagon against Tepe Teodoro. Simon kick out Fuentes. A good look. Short. Great effort by Gabanal. He made a 3 a while ago from there. This time it's too strong. Another great effort by Gab.
Kind of rushed his shot there from the left corner, almost the same spot where he hit the 3-point shot earlier in the game. Definitely off the foot of Tepe Teodoro.
Now we have Art Aquino and Nino Ibanez checking in. Ibanez played so well for Bulacan that he is still in the top 10 in points, steals, minutes, and field goal percentage. Of course, he attributes a lot of that to Paulo Hobalde. That's a miss by Fuentes. Rebound, Kint Ariar.
Yeah, you could see that the departure of those guys para sa Bulacan Kuya is really hurting their campaign right now. They really had to make up for it. Well, they continue to struggle from it. 3 guys, leaders of the squad, leaving the team. Now Nino Ibanez for Quezon, trying to find his way to be able to contribute off the bench in a supporting role.
Ibanez, who now gets the board, did tell me that his challenge is forgetting how good his numbers were in Bulacan, because right now he has to be a role player once more. This is Fuentes working with Sandagon. Judel zigzagging and feeding inside to Lander Cannon, who's fouled hard.
Oh, that's a pity for Mindoro. Excellent rotation defensively up to that last moment. Great job by Lander Cannon to be able to recognize the opportunity to seal in the middle of the paint and give them an advantage in that matchup against Lester Reyes.
Cyrus Torres is now in. One shooter for another. Fuentes sits out, and there's the foul by one of our former champs in Lester Reyes. Field goal story, 3 out of 8 and 0 out of 7 for Mindoro. They've only scored from the line. Sandagon turning around and missing. Another rebound for Quezon. They swing it to Cyrus Torres from downtown.
The most dangerous shot, or one of the most dangerous shots, is that 3-pointer coming off the offensive rebound. One of the hardest shots to guard. And that time, Quezon recognizing once again a shooter from the outside. Earlier it was Gabanal, now it's Cyrus Torres.
10-3 is the tally. JJ Caspe working with Kint Ariar. They go to Kint against Gabanal. Nice fake. He's tripped. So this is another chance to score from the line.
Mindoro not really running a lot of that triangle here in the first quarter. In fact, they're running a lot of dribble drives.
This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. On the other end, Quezon has not shied away from shooting these downtown gimmies, but of course, that has been their identity. They will gladly take those open shots. 3-point shooting, 2 out of 6 for the Huskers and 0 out of 2 for Mindoro. Ariar with another free throw. Former Letran Knight able to convert, trimming the lead down to 5. Opiso, handoff. Torres onto Cannon. It's Matiliano's turn to shoot. They really are so deep in terms of having these shooters on their roster.
In fact, they came onto the court early to have some shooting drills as a team. Itong Quezon Huskers. No surprise why they continue to remain sharp.
It's now 13-5. That was the third 3 of the Huskers in this game. Caspe, that's their first field goal.
JJ Caspe using his quickness right there to get to the rim and finish.
Matiliano, back-to-back threes.
you can't go under the screen if you're having Domark Matellano working that DHO, especially on the left side. For left-handed shooters, that's quite easy for them to get the ball on the left side, turn and shoot.
I like that you're giving me a Mike Perez impression, Habi, with a DHO as well. These acronyms for the plays. It's dribble handoff for
Yeah, that's
everybody's
correct.
information. JJ Caspe spinning. No foul there. Rebound Matiliano. Forward to Opiso. Jason back to Domart. Cross court. Nice feed. Cyrus Torres all day. Off to the left though.
Despite the miss, that was excellent team basketball. That's exactly how you should run a fast break. You see a guy forward, you give it up right away. No need to waste time dribbling that rock.
It's been team ball so far for Quezon in this game. They have 6 dimes off of 6 made field goals. Turnover. Matiliano. Counter steal. JJ Caspe stepping on the brakes. He needs a teammate. It's Lester Reyes with 13 on the shot clock. Back to JJ. JV De La Cruz will fire. That's short. Rebound to Cannon.
De La Cruz has been unlucky here in the first quarter. He's missed his last 2 shots.
Opiso now to Matiliano. A minute and 15. Domart. Lander Cannon. No high-low there. It's Torres. Swinging to the left. 4 on the shot clock. Nino Ibanez misfires. Rebound Caspe. That's board number 2 for JJ Caspe to go alongside his 4 points. Remember, he's coming off of his first MPBL triple-double. And actually, that's his first triple-double in his life. Not only in this league.
Well, you know, for him, the legend continues to rise as he represents his hometown here in the MPBL. I'm sure mga kababayan niya proud na proud sa kanya sa pagtayo ng bandila nila dito.
One guy who's proud of him, it's Rodel Vaigan, a senior from Mindoro in this Tamarao squad. Now they're down by 9, 16-7. We have our fan of the game brought to you by Jinky Skin as we come to you live from the University of Benguet campus in Abra for your MPBL Saturday. This is only the first game of our triple header. Mindoro and Quezon will be followed by Pangasinan and South Cotabato, and our main event will feature the Abra Weavers on their second home court defense. Following their victory versus Rizal, they will take on Iloilo. And then 21 days from now, Javi Palanya will be back here in Abra. I don't know who you're going to work with, but who were they going to take on? Valenzuela, no?
Yeah, that's correct. Big games for the Abra Weavers moving forward. And this is an exciting time for them because now the team that they have built is starting to mesh.
Field goal story. Looking better for Quezon. Only 1 from Mindoro so far. The rest have come from free throws. Ken Bono. First appearance, first shot, first miss. Rebound to Peng Lagrama. Forward to Matiliano for his 3rd three-pointer. Off to the left.
Well, it could have been a 2-for-1 for the Tamaraos if they hurried up, but Artaquino slowing down right there.
Almost a turnover. Ken Bono back at it. 8-second differential. 7 on the shot clock. Claude Camit, Ken Bono, the pull-up and the miss. Rebound Jordan Rios. He's one of the best in the league in that. A miss though. 4 seconds to go. Cyrus Torres. Lagrama will fire. Short. That's going to do it for our first 10 minutes. Quezon's defense looking good. After all, they only allow 70 points per game. That's the second best defense in the MPBL.
Only allowing 1 out of 11 from the field for the Mindoro Tamaraws. That's only 9%, while they shot 6 out of 15 for 40%. Moving that basketball around, they have 6 assists now, plus grabbing 10 rebounds. A lot of them on the offensive front, which made it possible for one of the threes by Gab Banal. They're shooting 4 out of 12 from downtown right now. Mindoro still yet to hit from the great beyond in this game. Good start coming off a loss para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
It's 1-3 from Gab Banal, 1 from Cyrus Torres, and 2 from the marked man himself, Domark Matiliano. The tally is 16-7 after 1. This first quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. And there you see our ever so loyal bossing, Emer Oreta, the head of basketball operations of the MPBL, present here in Abra. Another guy who's present, it's Jesse Saitanan, who's matched up against Ken Bono. The Mindoro Tamaraws only had 1 field goal in the opening frame after shooting 13 times. That's another miss for them, while Quezon had 6 field goals. Another miss from Jordan Rios. Great contest by Topeng Nagrama.
Every time the Quezon Huskers moving their feet to get in front of the offense here for the Mindoro Tamaraws, they're really forcing the blue shirts into some tough looks.
Baseline inbound. Art Aquino onto Jethro Sombero. Backing down against Jason Opiso. Kick out Ken Bono. His best look so far, off to the right. Another chance for the Tamaraws. Ken Bono, 7 on the shot clock. Backing down. Bono, still no good. Out of bounds in favor of Quezon.
The Huskers aren't really doing anything special defensively. They're just making sure that they stay in front of whoever they're defending, not over-aggressive in terms of going for that basketball, just really staying disciplined.
Now this is Alvin Abundo working with Jesse Saitanan and Topeng Nagrama. 10 on the shot clock. Topeng knows about it. He's dancing. Topeng feeding on to Abundo. Another missed 3. That was 3-point attempt number 13 for the Huskers. They've only attempted 4 shots from the 2-point area.
They averaged 30 attempts from the outside this season. At sa lagay na yun, pang-apat sila in terms of 3 points attempted.
Now this is a charge called on Jethro Sombero. Sumabit itong si Topeng Nagrama. It's always tricky when you go up against smaller players.
Coach Jens Newtel trying to plead their case on the sideline.
Was he pleading to Gab Banal?
No, he was talking to one of our officials.
It would have been weird if you would plead your case to an opponent as Gab Banal now walks into the court.
Pero magkakakilala naman yan. Nag-abot pa yan eh.
At dahil dyan, pwede pa nating imbitahin si Coach Jens Newtel na paglaro dito sa MPBL.
Ay, pwede pa. Kahit si Coach JR Kawaling, pwede pa.
Mika Bisamis did hint to us that they're thinking about their return next year.
Gonna be exciting if we see them back. In fact, you know, these guys still very much capable. Jens Newtel was a great facilitator at the point guard spot during his playing days, while Coach JR Kawaling, a great scorer from all around. And also part of that Gilas 1 team under Coach Raiko Toroman.
You know, technically speaking, they could have been playing as soon as now.
Yeah.
Because they are actually free agents in the MPBL, having played before. So kung magkaroon po ng bagong window sa MPBL, they can just be included in any roster. 16-7. 2 minutes gone by in the second. Kamit up top to Aquino. Screen by Bono. 2 on the shot clock. Aquino pulls up off the glass and in.
But despite the make, still defense right there for the Quezon Huskers. Medyo napatras lang ng konti yung bantay doon ni Art Aquino. That's why he was able to get a much more decent look compared to the others that they have attempted in this game.
That's the first 2 points of Art Aquino. Second field goal for Mindoro following the first by Caspe. A miss by Saitanan, and here's Claude Camit. Part of that potential big 3 in the future for Mindoro alongside Caspe and De La Cruz. And there's another charge.
On Jetro Sombero again on the screen. A back pick being sent there on the right side.
Sombero actually has been quite known for fouling. He's always been in the top 10 in terms of fouls per game, averaging 3 per outing.
That's always been the problem in his game. Overly aggressive, especially in setting those screens. Pretty unnecessary for him to be committing these fouls. It keeps him out of the game, keeps him from developing a rhythm, keeps him from contributing to his squad.
Although if you think about it, as Judel Fuentes gets fouled, averaging 3 per game, is that, acceptable? Kasi kung 4 yan, worry na talaga yan para sa kanya because that's 1 from fouling out.
Yeah, 3 fouls, okay, considering you're a big man as well, you try to be physical when you're on the floor, but it's also the timeliness of those fouls. Tingnan mo ngayon, 2 na yung kanyang fouls in this game, and we're only in the first half, and it had to force Coach Jericho Wallen, Coach Jens Newtel to pull him out of the game to prevent him from getting his 3rd foul dito sa ating first half. So, for him, maybe be more strategic and smarter in giving up those fouls. Kung talagang wala ka na magagawa, doon mo na lang ibigay.
Ngayon, ibigay naman natin ang bola kay Andrea Endicio.
Ngayon, punta muna tayo sa Quezon. In our conversation kanina ni Coach Richie Ticzon, he pointed out 2 things that they lacked in their previous game. 1, lack of effort. 2, lack of proper offensive execution. Although having a loss is inevitable, but sa katunayan nga raw, they did not see it coming because they know what they can do and they know what they're capable of. Worry nga daw ng coaches is how the boys will respond to a loss, but they saw how strong the bond of the Huskers is. Walang nagsisihan, walang nagturoan. Kumbaga, they win as one and they also lose as one. In fact, that bump made their bond even stronger kasi in the face of adversity, nakita nila saan pa ba nila pwedeng suportahan ang isa't isa. Mix and Javi?
That's how you become a champion team here in the MPBL. You have to know how to win during your ups and your downs as well. The good thing is we're seeing a lot of positive notes from the Huskers. They're up by 7. Na-mention ni Andrea that ball distribution could be key for them in this game. They already have 7 assists.
Yeah, because that's one department where they don't really put up a lot of numbers because ball usually in the hands of LJ Gonzalez a lot and he makes the plays. That's why yung assists nila di ganun kataas compared to the other squads like Nueva Ecija.
This is going to be a sideline inbound for Mindoro as we present to you our play of the game brought to you by Suzuki. Yet another wonderful feed from Gabanal onto Rodel Gravera. Now Gravera got the board off of that miss, but he wasn't able to handle it properly. Great effort by JJ Caspe.
You see, that's what you love about JJ Caspe. He's not only doing things offensively para sa Mindoro Tamaros, but he's also willing to go the extra mile defensively to be able to help his team. And that's a mark of a great player. Guy who plays both ends of the floor.
Speaking of the extra mile for Mindoro, currently they have 8 offensive rebounds. That's very impressive. And that's why they have out-rebounded Quezon by 5 as Ken Bono was able to score.
Despite the paltry field goal shooting of Mindoro, particularly in the first quarter, they're down by now just 8 points after that 3-point shot by Judel Fuentes. But they've been managing to keep this game at a good distance.
And that was the case in their previous game versus the Bataan Risers. They had one last push, just unable to finish it. As Joby Darang and the rest of Bataan were able to hold them off. That's a turnover.
These are the things that he will have to learn moving forward. Talking about JJ Caspe, those small mistakes, especially at these times of the game, cannot be happening for him a lot.
And this 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. 3-pointer number 1 for Judel Fuentes in this game. He actually shot the ball 17 times in their previous loss versus Pasay, only making 5. And he was 2 out of 12 from downtown. Gabanal lost the leather I'm not sure. The ball is quite slippery here, although it is cold inside the University of Benguet campus.
O baka nga nagmamoist ng konti.
And these teams were able to practice, but not here in this venue. There was an outdoor venue kung saan walang aircon, obviously. Yun ang kanilang pinagpracticean kahapon.
It's quite hard for teams to not really get used to the venue right away. But they came in here early to be able to feel it out and get some shots up before the start of this game. The Quezon Huskers might be shooting themselves in the foot with these misses and turnovers.
Turnover story now, 5-all. Shooting percentages not too friendly here. Quezon at 35%. Of course, it could go higher, but for Mindoro, it's only at 19%. Balong Marquez, unable to score. Battle for the rebound. That's another offensive rebound. Tete will shoot, and he will miss.
This Mindoro squad full of a lot of scrappy players. You have Lester Reyes, who we saw just made that possession happen, that extra possession for the Tamaraos on that previous play. And then Jordan Rios also plays into that, being a guy who loves to get those offensive rebounds. Kit Ariar also fits that role, as well as Balong Marquez.
In terms of offensive rebounding in this season, Jordan Rios is number 7 in the MPBL, averaging 3.5. And he's doing it as a guard. Teodoro stepping back and missing. Here's Jadel, forward, LJ, Gravera, blocked. Great defense by JJ Caspe.
Gravera took off way too early there off the quick touch pass coming from LJ Gonzalez, and that made it easy for Caspe to go up in the air and swat that shot away.
Can they convert on the other end? JJ Caspe. Marquez, Reyes, back to JJ. A three-pointer, yes!
Great play ran there by the Mindoro Tamaraos. Deviating from the triangle still. They haven't run that kind of offense a lot in this first half. And they're really giving a lot of opportunity for JJ Caspe to create his own shots.
That's 7 points now in this game for JJ Caspe. And off of the miss by Quezon, we're back with the Tamaraos. As Avi mentioned, this is a manageable deficit for Mindoro. They trailed by as many as 9. Ariar, 10 on the shot clock. Almost a steal on a foot race. LJ's gonna win it. Here he is, bumping his way through. Unfortunately, he's called for a charge.
Interesting sequence right there. One of our referees called the defensive foul, but Alan Manzano on the right side signaled an offensive foul. So we'll see here after the review kung ano ang magiging final decision nila. Because the offensive foul does have a case there. There was a ward off of the offhand. Let's see this, the steal. That's great defense by LJ Gonzalez. Di na yun hinabol ni Tete Teodoro. And watch, there was an elbow actually thrown by LJ Gonzalez. This is the reverse angle. There you see it, right to the chin of JJ Caspe.
And Caspe has braces.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Instant singaw yan.
It is a charge on LJ Gonzalez.
is second.
You're just mentioning about the turnovers of Quezon. That's number 6 already. Caspe a bit shaken up.
And, and that's why when I talked to Coach Eric Gonzalez a few games ago, despite the record that they have right now and being on top of the Southern Division, he says that this team is not yet at 100%. In fact, ang sinabi niya, 50% pa lang kami ngayon. That was, I think, their game against Quezon City a couple of weeks ago.
I wonder what the context is about in terms of the time that they have spent together, or
he feels there are still a lot more areas wherein they could improve. Na-mention na ni Andrea yung ilan sa mga bagay na yon, assists, and of course sharing the ball in the half-court set, just like that.
well, at least if you have points to improve on, that will keep you on your toes in this very long season. It's hard to get bored in the MPBL.
Definitely. And that's always something that you would want, something to chase, something to improve on. Because without that, you will really seem out of hand.
lalo na as we go along and as State Mindoro makes a three-pointer, Quezon's schedule is going to get tougher. They still haven't faced the Pampangas, the Nueva Ecija, the San Juans.
Kaya kung iisipin mo, naging swerte sila dun sa schedule na nakuha nila this season because they had a lot of time to be able to gel as a team with all the new names that came in this season and also to develop kung ano yung magiging strengths nila and identify the weaknesses before they go up against the big teams, the titans of the league, as you like to say.
Now, it's State Mindoro who's looking like a titan off of that offensive sequence. He just made a three and he got fouled, shooting a three-pointer. And this is a chance for Mindoro to now grab the lead.
It's so tricky trying to defend Teodoro, especially right there, because his shot, he shoots it behind his head. So it's not easy to just stay in front of him and put the hand up. He's so used to hitting shots with defense sprawled all over him that he doesn't get bothered most of the time. And that's why when he starts hitting shots, you really better be very wary of how he heats up.
Teodoro made his first free throw. That will tie the ball game up at 22, and this is a chance for them to get their first lead in this game. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Teodoro tried to go off the glass. I'm not sure if that was intentional.
That seems to be quite the trend nowadays. Alam ko tinuturo na rin sa Korea yan eh.
Well, if it works for you, then why not? Sandagon. Second quarter field goal story. Now it's better for Mindoro. And it's a traveling violation. Another turnover for Quezon.
And defense of Mindoro really tightening up. In fact, you know, they were actually playing good defense in the first quarter, just unable to make it for the whole possession. That's why there were some shots by Quezon that seemed very easy para sa kanila, which they drained en route to that early lead.
That's JV De La Cruz with all the confidence in the world, giving Mindoro their first lead in this game.
De La Cruz really hit a lot of blanks in the first quarter, but that will do a lot for his confidence.
Jason Opiso answering back for the Quezon Huskers with his usual mid-range shot. And we keep on hearing the buzzer. Not sure what that was about. The play continues. Under 45 seconds, Tete, heat check. Oh, and he had a reaction onto Gabanal after that conversion.
I think they've been talking.
A layup for Nino Ibanez. They're trading baskets.
A game quickening up the pace right now. Both teams really going up and down early in the shot clock, going for some shots right away.
Almost an 8-second violation there. Was it already?
Yeah, it was. Should be. Well, nevertheless, turnover rin naman talaga yun against Mindoro. Marquez couldn't handle the basketball. Excellent pressure defense by the Huskers.
Quezon will have a chance to give us a deadlock or even take the lead back. They can get a three in this next possession. But Coach Richie Tixon would call for time first. Okay, can you see the reaction of Tate Mindoro off of this made three? There you go. I wonder what that meant.
Trying to talk some smack to Gabanal. I think Gabanal gave him something for shooting first 2 threes in the first half.
You have the next 3 games of the Quezon Huskers. They will go back home this coming Wednesday to take on the Rizal Golden Coolers. And then they will go inside the Philoy Eco Oil Center to challenge the San Juan Knights on their home floor, who have lost once there against the Golden Coolers. And then on August 19, it's going to be the reunion of Nino Ibanez and his former teammates and coaches from Bulacan. Right now, they're trailing by 2 points. 26-28 after being outscored by 11 so far in this frame. 10 seconds to go. Zone defense. Now it's a man for Mindoro. 1 second. Ibanez is blocked by Lester Reyes. And how about the Tamaraws heading on to their halftime huddle, up by 2 points.
That's very impressive adjustment right there for the Mindoro Tamaraws, able to read the offense for the Quezon Huskers and really get on to that shot. Lester Reyes moving his feet well to be able to defend that shot by Nino Ibanez.
We did see his reaction. He was so happy about it. This halftime score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX.
Back here at the Governor Andres B. Bernos Memorial Gymnasium for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Andrea Endiso, and right now we will be having our halftime interview together with Assistant Coach TJ Marquez, one of the assistant coaches of the Mindoro Tamaraws. Thank you so much po, Coach, for joining me here at the half. Coach, kanina napagkwentuhan namin ni Coach JR Kawaling na binabago po ninyo or pinapaganda pa ninyo ang culture ng Mindoro Tamaraws. But right now, kamusta po ba ang culture at environment ng team? Ano po yung mga points of improvement?
Yes, ang improvement namin ngayon actually is more bonding kami. Before kasi the players group by group, so ang ginawa namin Coach JR, so nagano kami more on bonding time, hindi puro basketball lang pinag-uusapan. So, yung culture is really good. So, kaya right now, kita mo naman, medyo nagre-reflect sa laro kasi they trust each other na. So, that's the thing that we want to continue until the end of the season as family. Yun lang.
Pwede niyo po bang i-share sa amin, ano po yung mga bonding time na yun?
Well, bonding time actually more on practice kasi before, laging hiwa-hiwalay. Ngayon, sama kumakain, after practice, kwentuhan kahit sa chat group. So, medyo more active na lahat. Participation is really important kasi to build the right culture. So right now, nangyayari naman sa team.
At mukhang maganda po yung nagiging results ng inyong bonding moments na nagre-reflect in this ball game. Ngayon naman, Coach, meron po ba kayong gustong batiin o pasalamatan?
Oh yes, Mayor Ina, thank you for your support. And Congressman Panaligan also. And to all supporters of Tamaros po, please continue lang until the end of the season. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much. And that's it for our halftime interview. Don't go away. Magbabalik pa rin po ang MPBL.
Our halftime score is 28-26 in favor of the Mindoro Tamaraws after they only scored 7 points in the opening frame of this game. At some point, their shooting percentage was down to 18%, but now they have recovered onto 28% or 27% at that. Javi, the rest of the numbers.
And you can see there, the Mindoro Tamaraws, they really hiked up their performance in the second period. Their three-point shots really kept them in the game and, in fact, gave them the lead. Right now, they're up by 2 points. Rebounding, they've had a lot of offensive rebounds, especially no pagpasok ni Jordan Rios, sila ni Lester Reyes. They really gave Mindoro a lot of extra possessions. And those turnovers, actually, majority of them came in the first quarter. Para sa Quezon naman, it's been spread out, and that's why they've been in a sort of slump right now, bridging the second quarter and halftime break. That second quarter really rose up for the Mindoro Tamaraws. They scored 21 points after only scoring 7 in the first period.
Domark Batiliano started things off very well, making 2 3-pointers for Quezon. He has 6 to lead the way. Jesse Saitanan has 4 and Jodel Fuentes has 4. While it's State Mindoro was having some jokes with Gabanal in the first half, especially after scoring 9 points off of a couple of threes and free throws. Caspe also has 7 for them as their second leading scorer. And let's see if the Tamaraws can actually hold on to this advantage of theirs. They only had it for, a minute in the second quarter. It's been all Quezon before that. But now let's go to our courtside reporter, Andrea Indicio.
Not really the start that Mindoro wanted, but after their scoring splurge noong second quarter, they're definitely back in the game. Unfortunately, dito sa Quezon, hindi nga nila na-sustain ang kanilang magandang simula. At sabi nga ni Coach Richie Tixon, akala yata ng mga players ko ay enough na ang kanilang early lead. Nakakalimutan nila na expose ang kanilang mga nakakalaban ngayon. At ganun pa rin, same with the game against Pasay, kulang pa rin sa effort according to Coach Richie. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Andrea. Let's see if Quezon can turn things up here in the second half with a lot of sense of urgency, supposedly, for this squad. Again, they're coming off of their first loss of the season. You don't want to make it back-to-back. And what could be even more painful is the fact that they're going up against a losing team or a team with a losing record. Mindoro's at 5-15 with a 3-game losing skid. Pasay, a lot of people can understand that they really are different when they play on their home court.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why right now, if you're going up against a team like Mindoro, you have to work double time right now because itong Mindoro, they have that sense of urgency to be able to make a last-ditch push to make the playoffs.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And you know, Mindoro, I already mentioned at the top of our coverage that they have to win at least maybe 6 of their last 8 games to be able to make a push for the 8th spot. They are currently right now 5-15. The number 8 seed in the Southern Division are the Negros Muscovados at 9-12. So they have still Muntinlupa and Iloilo to contend with if they are to climb on top and get ahead of the Negros Muscovados. But this is going to be a big confidence booster para sa kanila if they get a win against a top team in their division, the Quezon Huskers.
Why not begin with a statement game here in Abra to make your journey all worth it? Alvin Elday did tell Mika Besamis a couple of weeks ago that their loss here in Abra is one of the most painful losses that he has ever experienced. And one can attribute it to just how far the journey is going back home. Ang tagal mong iniisip ang pagkatalo mo.
So much to think about, especially for Alvin Elday and the Rizal Golden Coolers. That was a game they were actually in control of. But then the Abra Weavers, sabi nila, di tayo pwede matalo dito sa home floor natin.
It is 28-27, forward pass, LJ Gonzalez. One more, Opiso, not onto his trailer. It's Gabanal, nice fake, another feed, it's a steal. Turnovers continue to be a concern. That's 10 already for Quezon in this game. They actually are supposedly number 2 in the league in taking good care of the basketball, only averaging 12.
Exactly, and they were able to force 8 turnovers, the same number of turnovers that Mindoro had. Unfortunately for Quezon, they were unable to make points out of those giveaways by the Mindoro Tamaraws. It was 8-1 in terms of points off turnovers in the first half. Advantage Tamaraws.
And sa lagay na yun, as Jason Opiso scores for 2 points, Mindoro's dead last in the league in points off of turnovers, only averaging 13 per game. It's been a quite ironic afternoon so far for the MPBL. But Mindoro will gladly take this. They're down by 1. Ariar, mid-range, short. Gonzalez will push. LJ forward to Jason Opiso. Almost a counter steal. The ball went out of bounds.
Opiso might have gotten away with a push there on De La Cruz as he tried to recover that basketball. Really sloppy play from Quezon here to start the second half.
Baseline inbound for Domark Motiliano. Simon Zandagon onto LJ Gonzalez. Motiliano at the corner. He was challenged, and that's going to be a charge.
And you know, that's what you love here about the Mindoro Tamaraos. They may not have the best names in the league, but these players are all very capable defensive players. Art Aquino, you have Lester Reyes, Kit Ariar is there, Jordan Rios. These guys can bring the extra for the Mindoro Tamaraos on that side of the basketball, and that's why they've been able to contend with the Quezon Huskers in this game.
One might even argue that the capabilities of these players are actually, to the point that you can consider them as potential X factors for championship level teams here in the MPBL.
Just like Lester Reyes was for the San Juan Knights.
Same goes for Jordan Rios and Art Aquino back in their day, and Joseph Marquez as well. It's actually quite a reunion for them. Off of that miss by Opiso, we're back with JJ Caspe. Almost a steal for LJ Gonzalez. Nothing has been too smooth here in the third quarter.
This is an excellent opportunity for JJ Caspe to be able to prove that he can indeed be one of the top players, not just for Mindoro, but here in this league, going up against the guy, LJ Gonzalez.
We always say it, iron sharpens iron. So whatever league that you may be playing at. JB De La Cruz, the pull-up, no good. Rebound Lester Reyes. He's done a splendid job getting those boards. And it results onto a layup for Jetro Sombero, who has a big smile on his face.
And that's what Jetro Sombero can give you, those extra points, driving inside, coming from the outside. Without the fouls, Sombero is a very capable player of contributing here for the Mindoro Tamaraos.
Those were the first 2 points of Jetro Sombero in this game. A miss by Gonzalez, ball tapped away by Jason Opiso.
And look at how the Mindoro Tamaraos have been defending Quezon here in the second half, particularly. This was the last play. Sombero getting the step there on Opiso and using his length to be able to finish that right-hand layup.
Could scrappiness be the name of the game for Mindoro in this matchup? Still up by 1, 6 on the shot clock. That's a turnover. Gonzalez. That's a foul given up by Caspe.
A smart foul there by JJ Caspe. They were already outnumbered. That was going to be a 3-on-2 break in favor of the Quezon Huskers.
Anytime you have LJ Gonzalez on the floor, it's like we can consider him as two people already because of his speed. Now he sits down. Nino Ibanez is back. Working alongside Jason Opiso, Judel Fuentes, Simon Sandagon, and Cyrus Torres. A miss by Simon. Rebound, Jetro. Got hit there.
This is a very loaded squad, the Quezon Huskers. In fact, a lot of guys in different positions, but they are really giving a lot of exposure to Nino Ibanez to give him the opportunity to be able to acclimate himself with the way they run things. Because going down the line, he's going to be a weapon they can use.
They actually have had their eye on Ibanez even before the season started. He already trained for a couple of sessions with the Huskers, but he had to finish his commitment with Coach Buds Reyes. Let's see if he can step up. Opiso needs some help. There it is, provided by Nino. Opiso on to Fuentes. 12 on the shot clock. Judel up top. Opiso. They swing it over. Ibanez wide open. Yes.
Laps there defensively for the Mindoro Tamaraos, leaving a capable shooter in Nino Ibanez wide open. Pati nga siya nagulat dun sa kanyang open look. He was supposed to pass it off to the left corner.
5 points for Ibanez. That's his first 3 in this game. And JJ Caspe was fouled immediately on the other end.
That's good recognition coming from JJ Caspe. Take a look at this open look. Nino Ibanez, see nobody there in front of him. Lack of communication on that defensive lapse for the Mindoro Tamaraws.
JJ Caspe is now at the stripe. He actually saw the line a lot versus Bataan. Shot 17 times from the charity stripe, but he only made 12. He's a 72% free throw shooter. That's good for number 6 in the league in terms of volume free throw shooters. Is it raining hard?
Yeah, it seems to be the sound I'm hearing right now too.
I hope everybody's safe from wherever you may be watching. This is the second time in MPBL history that we are coming to you live from the University of Benguet campus. The most famous campus apparently here in Abra, as told to us by our driver CJ coming into the venue today. Ibanez feeds. Opiso onto Fuentes. Jodel drives. And was there a foul?
Yeah, the foul on Ken Bono, I believe.
But it happened on the floor. That's what the referee was pointing at.
Oh no, it's against Sombero. That's already number 3 against him.
That matches his average. There's a fouls per game for Jetro Sombero.
Coach Jens Newtel and Coach JR Kawaling will elect to leave him on the floor.
32-31. Fuentes leaning in. Short. Rebound Opiso. Up top to Cyrus Torres. Then on the shot clock. That's a charge.
Good call there by our officials. Definitely an obvious illegal screen there set by Lander Cannon. There was a movement of the shoulder. Take a look at this one. Gumalaw yung kanyang kanang balikat doon as he tried to get Tete Teodoro out of the way to set up Cyrus Torres for an open look.
Turnover story. 12-10 so far here in Abra. This is Ken Bono matched up against Lander Cannon. Backing down, Bono turns around. No basket, no foul. Sa kabila, Fuentes. That's stolen away forward to Tete. Teodoro against Ibanez. Teodoro just had to eliminate it from the picture, and that was such a good-looking layup.
Just when Nino Ibanez thought that he already had Tete Teodoro locked down there. Teodoro ever so crafty, ever so slippery when it comes to those kinds of opportunities.
Here's Jodel Fuentes. Matched up against Claude Gamit. Fuentes onto Opiso. Off to the left, rebound Sombero.
Opiso has also missed a number of open looks here in this game after draining some of his jumpers in the first half.
3 minutes and change. Claude Gamit against Nino Ibanez. Yep. Natamaan niya sa ulo as he tried to swipe the ball.
The problem is it's already free throws para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws.
This fast break of the game, believe it or not, is brought to you by Tete Teodoro and Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Mindoro is supposedly last in the league in fast break points, only averaging 9.6 per game. That's why we really celebrate that highlight by Tete Teodoro.
In fact, that's I think their first conversion on the break here in this game.
We've only seen 4 total fast break points in this matchup. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, Javi, but we've seen a lot of opening opportunities for fast break scores, but you know, they just ended up as turnovers, hindi natutuloy yung steals.
Kudos to the Tamaraws for being able to keep in step with the Huskers, who is a team that really likes to run. And we already mentioned it at the top of our coverage that has been the problem for Mindoro this season, getting back down on defense, preventing fast break points.
After that traveling violation, turnover number 14 for Jodel Fuentes and the rest of the Huskers. We now have a timeout. It is 33-32. presenting our fan of the game. Brought to you by Jinky Skin. There you have it, our second here in Abra as we come to you live from the Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Coliseum. This is Tete Teodoro of the Mindoro Tamaraws. He had 11 points versus Bataan, making 3 3-pointers. He has already matched that in today's outing. 11 points, 2 threes, and a fast break layup, by the way.
And the timeliness of his shots have really given Mindoro an opportunity to control this game. Although they have been only up by, I think the biggest lead of the Tamaraws has been 3 or 4 points. But you know, right now, he's staying in the game, really helping Mindoro a lot right now. Quezon has seemed to solve the problem that is Tete Teodoro.
Here he is working with Ken Bono. Two veterans. Bono, no high-low, 6 on the shot clock. Tete, hounded by Torres, he escapes. Teodoro with a Superman layup. Where did that come from?
Okay, one of the rare times we see Teodoro finishing with the right hand and on a 2-foot jump at that.
I don't know what he has eaten here in Abra, but I hope he continues to eat it every day.
That's sneaky athleticism right there by Tete Teodoro. We gotta see that again. Take a look at that. A shot clock winding down, one fake, couple of dribbles, and then the 2-foot jump to the extension with the right hand by Tete Teodoro. What a move coming from the former JRU Heavy Bomber.
Worthy of that beautiful smile, Mr. Tete Teodoro. Third quarter field goal story, +1 for Mindoro. And now, we have a foul by Topeng Negrama.
And Claude Gamet is trying to tell our officials that there might have been a closed fist. That's why our referees will be reviewing that last play.
I thought he was asking for a charge, but why would you ask for a charge if you have the ball? Let's see if this would be upgraded. Mindoro continuing to dictate the pace in this game.
Slow break basketball para dito sa Mindoro Tamaraws. And Teodoro, Caspe, Claude Gamet right now doing an excellent job of making sure that the game stays this way.
Tete is our leading scorer with 13. The second leading scorer is Caspe with 8. After that, it's Domar Patiliano of Quezon who has 6, although he hasn't scored in the third quarter. And then it's Ibanez and Bono with 5 each. Our referees have made their decision. They will speak with Miguel Pere for this call on Topeng Negrama.
Upon review, the last foul on Topeng Negrama has been upgraded into unsportsmanlike foul.
Claude Gamet definitely had his case.
Let's see that here right now. Legrama, there you go, hitting his back. I think it was a hit to Sombero, not to Claude Gamet.
Okay.
That's why Sombero will be the one taking the free throws right now.
Buti nakita pa ni Claude yun. Sombero at the line. This guy almost beat Bataan twice this season. He was 8 points short of doing it in their previous outing. He did it once when he was a part of Muntinlupa at the earlier part of our campaign. And again, Bataan is his former team. So he was definitely on a mission on those 2 outings. LJ Gonzalez will return, replacing Topeng Negrama. They're down by 4, and this match is the biggest lead of Mindoro in this game, after Quezon actually led by as many as 9 in the first half. That was the gap in the first quarter, 16-7. JJ Caspe, a 3-pointer off to the right, rebound to Quezon. Under 2 minutes in the third. Gonzalez onto Banal. Gab backing down. Banal still at it. There's the kick out the side of Torres. Another miss.
A lucky break there for the Mindoro Tamaraws, leaving another shooter wide open inside of Torres.
Matiliano, one more feed. Torres stopped by Mindoro. It's Gab Banal's turn. That's good, and it's the first three-pointer of Quezon since the first quarter.
You gotta appreciate though the defense of the Mindoro Tamaraos really getting back and preventing another easy opportunity in a fast break for the Huskers, but they failed to stop that shot by Gabanal. I think this is a time for Gabanal to start taking over here for the Huskers.
36-35. Banal currently has 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, which is quite similar to what he showed us in his MVP season. LeBron James type ang kanyang mga numero dito sa MPBL. This was his previous 3.
A nice kick out right there to the wing. Just an easy catch and shoot opportunity para kay Gabanal.
LJ driving feet, Cyrus Torres, Tamarao connection against the Tamaraos.
How many years have we been seeing that from these two players? Gonzalez using his speed to get into the lane and seeing Cyrus Torres make the relocation to the left corner pocket, knocking it down.
Quezon back with the advantage, 38-36 in this low-scoring affair. Caspe attacking. He lost the ball. Recovery. It's Ken Bono who will fire. No bounce. Offensive rebound. Sompero. Still no good. But there's Del Vaigan with the effort.
Vaigan has managed to get 2 extra possessions here for the Tamaraos.
4-second differential. That's a foul. And it means free throws for Claude Camit.
They tried to blitz him, double him off of that screen action with Ken Bono. That was a shot clock violation waiting to happen against the Mindoro Tamaraos, but LJ Gonzalez just could not resist from committing that personal foul.
Couple of substitutions for these last 9.5 seconds. Claude Camit from University of Baguio will now be shooting free throws. And they're stopping Nagrama, the homegrown of Quezon Province, back in, replacing LJ Gonzalez.
And they had to take out LJ Gonzalez because that was already number 3 laban sa kanya. Don't want him to commit his 4th just before this one goes to a close.
That's the first point of Claude Camit. After converting his first free throw, he had 9 in the previous game. And he did tell me that that was his best showing so far in the MPBL in his very young career in this league. 2 for 2 for Claude. Jodel Fuentes returns. It's 4 players capable of shooting alongside Simon Sandagon for the Huskers. Foul given up by Camit. That's only foul number 4 for Mindoro. It's free throws moving forward. Lagrama, 4 seconds, stopping, escapes, lefty layup, that's good.
Good thing Simon Sandagon stopped himself from trying to tip that back in. That could have been offensive interference against the Quezon Huskers. But good way to end this third quarter para sa kanila. Hitting a couple of 3-pointers, Gabanal and Cyrus Torres helping the cause for Quezon to get back into the lead.
They outscored Mindoro by 4 in this frame. It is 40-38 as we present to you our highlights of the game, brought to you by SIP Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. We have Matiliano, Torres, and Banal combining for 18. They have 6 each in this game, but you did mention that you'd want Gabanal to take over moving forward, as this is a close game after all. This 2-point advantage of Quezon will feature a tally of 40-38. Even though it's low scoring, Quezon will gladly take this lead. This third quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Presenting our Suzuki Muscular and Sporty fans of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with the Muscular and Sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenus, oras na para magmotor. We are coming back to you live from the Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Coliseum in Abra for your MPBL Saturday. And we now feature our quarter scoring. It's been low scoring so far, Javi.
Yeah, and the good thing for Quezon, they were able to hold Mindoro to just 10 points after allowing them to score 21 in that second quarter. So defense starting to tighten up once again para sa Quezon Huskers. And this is a welcome sign para naman sa Mindoro Tamaraos after struggling in that third period. Sombero now opening up the festivities with a basket and one opportunity.
Sombero's up to 5 points with his 6 rebounds in this game. Rebounding actually has been quite balanced as well for Mindoro. It's 5 across the board for Caspe, Reyes, and Rios as well.
So you can see how much Jetro Sombero can be a big help for the Mindoro squad as long as he stays on the floor.
41 to 40. Let's see if he can be careful with his fouls moving forward. He has 3 so far. Opiso, that's a turnover.
They have been so good in defending that two-man game here in this game. Talking about the Mindoro Tamaraos, they've had a lot of steals coming off of those pocket passes attempted by the Quezon Huskers in the half court.
A total of 7 steals now for Mindoro and 15 turnovers for Quezon, as now Coach Jens and Coach JR would challenge that previous sequence. It did happen in front of their bench.
They were very adamant about it. In fact, I think the guys were celebrating already because they felt like it should have been a defensive foul called. I think the guy with the basketball was slapped.
All right, so as the referees sort this one out, we'll take a short break.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful. Call on the floor stays. Offensive foul on number 7.
It is an unsuccessful challenge. Charge, after all, by a Mindoro Tamarao.
Wow, that's pretty weird to me. I really think that it should have been a defensive foul against Gab Banal. Sombero wasn't really extending any of his body parts in setting that screen. Pity for them because that's number 4, laban sa kanya. We were just talking about how he should be taking care of his fouls here.
Missed by Gabanal. The ball goes to
You.
our, sabi ko sana si Key, si JR King, ating floor director dito. Big shout out to our production team, by the way, for all of their efforts. Ayan po si Key with a nice save. Nice play. That's the San Juan Knights connection here in Mindoro. Jordan Rios and Lester Reyes.
And Tamaraos now back in control. 3-point lead para sa kanila. That was a good two-man game between Rios and Lester Reyes.
This might actually be the biggest win of Mindoro if they actually pull it off.
That's correct.
Because they defeated teams like Abra and Pasay, but Quezon is the team that has the best record among their opponents so far.
And also, you know, this is going to be really good for them moving forward if they are to make a last-ditch effort into entering the playoffs in the Southern Division. You beat a team with the top record in the South, and also you help your cause in entering the Final 8.
And of course, there is some concern on the camp of Quezon as Opiso is able to score. You wouldn't want 2 straight losses. And even at that, they had a two-week break before this game.
That should have been ample time for them to pick up their bearings and recover from that loss against the Pasay Voyagers. But I'm sure that Coach Eric Gonzalez, watching right now from Korea, is really trying of new ways to thinking of new ways to be able to help his team here when he gets back.
This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. JJ Caspe feeding onto his cutter in Jordan Rios. Rios has 2 points with 5 rebounds and 2 dimes in this game. Sandagon challenged and fouled, and Mindoro is very unhappy about it. Remember, they don't have any challenges remaining.
I don't agree with that call. Lester Reyes had his hand up. That was a clean swipe.
Let's see the replay.
I think that hand was on the ball and not on the arm of Simon Sandagon.
Simon missing on his first free throw. Sandagon has been one of the most improved players that we have here in the 6th season of the MPBL. LJ Gonzalez surely is proud of him. Tagal na sila nagsama. Pressure broken down by Mindoro. They're up by 2. Almost 3 minutes gone by in the 4th. De La Cruz pulls up. No bounce. The effort by Rios. And here's Nino Ibanez. Stopping and feeding. Opiso inside. Sandagon. Same matchup. Different result. Unfortunately, the Tamaraws weren't able to control the ball.
Di nagkaintindihan doon si De La Cruz at si Rios. But great stop defensively para sa kanila. Just giving up that possession.
That's a steal by Jordan Rios.
You see how different they are right now defensively. They're really more locked in than they are.
After all, you did mention that they are trying to make a push for the playoffs. 4 games back off of the 8th seed. Steal Story, 8-7. Ariar, short. Rios, another rebound. He's just very sneaky in the interior. 6 on the shot clock. Caspe will fire. Too strong. And there is a loose ball foul. A push by Jason Opiso. It's Jordan Rios again creating the chaos.
When that shot goes up, as long as he's not part of the play near the basketball, he is definitely going to be within the vicinity of the ring to get an opportunity for another possession. That's 2 straight offensive rebounds in 1 possession para kay Jordan Rios.
And a total of 4 offensive rebounds for him. 6 total rebounds for Jordan Rios. Baseline inbound. Oh, not much space there for Mindoro.
A lot of times already in this game that our players have really bobbled that rock. Medyo dumudulas rin talaga yung bola paminsan dito eh.
Well, we've seen a total of 30 turnovers in this game. 45-43. Gonzalez. That was a turnover again, if you think about it. 4 minutes gone by in the 4th. JD De La Cruz, he's 1 out of 7 from the field so far. De La Cruz. The pull-up, the confidence is still there, just too strong. Another offensive rebound for Mindoro. They've had 15 offensive rebounds as of this moment. Unfortunately, that is turnover number 15 for them.
Out of control there on the catch was JJ Caspe. Tried to spin his way baseline against Nino Ibanez. He was asking for the basketball early in that possession. He felt like he had the advantage against Ibanez on the left side of the floor.
Back with Quezon. This is for the lead. Cyrus Torres too strong. The ball now goes to Gilbert, our statistician at the sideline.
Yeah, despite the efforts defensively of the Tamaraws in this game, they have had a number of times wherein they left shooters of the Quezon Huskers wide open. They're lucky that the Huskers haven't been hitting their shots from the outside compared to their game against Pasay.
Quezon is now 8 out of 22 from downtown. And now we have a challenge for Quezon. Let's see if Coach Richie Tixon and the rest of his decorated coaching staff saw something that the referees did not. We shall take another short break.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful.
So that's the second unsuccessful challenge for today. It is out of bounds, apparently off of the Huskers. Let's see that previous rebounding sequence. Tumama kay Simon Sandago ng bola. Tate Teodoro will now be inbounding as he works with Art Aquino, Kent Ariar, Lester Reyes, and JJ Caspe. Playing defense are Simon Sandagon, Jason Opiso, LJ Gonzalez, Nino Ibanez, and Cyrus Torres. Caspe trying to barge his way through. He scores.
He was very decided that he was going to take the shot there, one-on-one against LJ Gonzalez. Drop step and the score on the hook shot para dito kay JJ Caspe.
That's 10 points with 6 rebounds and 2 dimes to the name of JJ Caspe. Gonzalez trying to answer back. That was a tough pass, and it's a traveling violation. Turnover number 18 for Quezon. Again, they only average 12 per game. But it is one of the adjustments, the usual adjustments in the MPBL when you travel onto a new venue.
Yeah, that's correct. We were talking to one of our officials earlier that maraming hangin sa sahig ng court, kaya nag-iiba yung talbog ng bola, and that's why players have been having a hard time.
But again, it's no excuse
That's right.
to anybody in the league because it affects everybody on the court.
Ay, patas pa rin naman yung nagiging labanan dito.
And it's just the welcome to Abra moment for a couple of these teams. Caspe. Rebounding story, a +8 for Mindoro. Again, offensive rebounding has been a big theme for them. +6, and now there's a foul called. No challenges remaining, so Sandagon will have to accept that.
I don't understand why he's complaining. That was an obvious hit on a driving JJ Caspe, who I feel actually took off way too early. Good time. Good thing he had the hang time to be able to stay in the air and wait for Sandagon to come at him. Sandagon could have just went up and not put his hand down, but what he did caused that foul.
Now let's go to Andrea Indicio.
The 26-year-old JJ Caspe considers himself as a baby tama raw in a team with lots of veterans. Kahit maganda ang performance niya last game, napapaisip daw talaga siya sa mga bagay na kailangan pa niyang i-improve, given that he's seeing the skills of his kuyas. But actually, one personal thing that JJ wants to improve is his physique. Since he started playing basketball, struggle na daw talaga sa kanya yung i-build ang katawan niya. Siya pa nga raw yung tipong pag tumigil sa training lalo pang bumabayat, and he blames it on his metabolism. Pero at least daw he has a free pass para sa Only Rice. Back to you guys.
Oo nga naman, pwede pang kumain itong bata ng Mindoro na si JJ Caspe. But then again, in terms of physique, in terms of getting bulkier, nanggaling na rin yan sa coaches niya. They would want him to build himself up. But speaking of building himself up, he's living up to his potential. 2 more points for Caspe. He's up to 13.
He's picking up from where he left off in their last game against the Bataan Risers. They're really playing different right now.
53-43. This is the biggest lead for Mindoro. And actually, it is the biggest lead in the game. As Opiso is fouled in the interior. The Huskers are in danger of losing their second straight outing in the 6th season of the MPBL. And this fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Play Max, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max, JJ Caspe escaping the defense of LJ Gonzalez.
And what a time for him to come alive here in the second half. Ito si JJ Caspe, proving to everybody that he is getting the better of his matchup against LJ Gonzalez in this game.
Caspe has 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals following his triple-double performance of 25, 12, and 13 versus Bataan. Tate Teodoro is right up there with him with 16 points and 4 rebounds. That's why Javi Palaño will have to take some time thinking about who to choose from Mindoro as their best performer. But Quezon will also have something to say about that. They're being outscored by 10 so far in this frame. Tate. Again, Cyrus Torres. Teodoro. Step back, three-pointer. In and out. And here's Jadel Fuentes on the move. Forward, Gonzalez. Opiso. Cyrus, this is gonna be big. Nope. Offensive rebound, no putback. And that's swiped away by Tate Teodoro. Which is a big thing already for them.
Yeah, and if you're Simon Sandagon, you got to go up there and make sure you get those 2 points. In fact, if you ask me, he should have slammed it.
Boy, do we miss those slams of Simon Sandagon. It was almost a staple in the top 10 plays of the MPBL last year. Gonzalez, they're down by 8, 3 minutes and change. It's usually his time. Gonzalez, that was off of the foot of Ariar. 3 on the shot clock. Cyrus Torres, no good. Offensive rebound, the feed. Sandagon, up top they go. Torres, drive and feed. Gonzalez, one more. Fuentes, three-pointer, yes!
Fourth quarter is Jadel Fuentes and LJ Gonzalez time for the Quezon Huskers. Fuentes only with 7 points so far in this game. So a lot of guys really struggling to score the basketball here for the Quezon Huskers. Gab Banal also just has 6 points. LJ Gonzalez only with a point to show for sa laro na to.
Gonzalez has only shot the ball twice. Jadel is 1 out of 12 from the field. Check that, 2 out of 12 as now Mindoro scores again. It's 2 points for Kate Ariar.
Kung ano yung hirap ng pag-score dito ng Quezon Huskers, yun naman ang pagkadali ng pagpuntos ng Mindoro Tamaraos. And Simon Sandagon redeeming himself from that miss earlier by putting that ball back in.
It's getting faster and faster. These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending. GameX. Mindoro trying to hold on for what could be their biggest win of the season. Ariar pulls up. That's good. How about the confidence of Kid Ariar in these dying minutes?
One-on-one isolated against the former MVP in Gab Banal. Big shot by Kid Ariar.
Fuentes for 3. Yes, sir. It's back-to-back for Jadel. 57-53.
This one is far from over, Mix.
93 seconds remaining. Ariar bringing it down. Now they go to JB De La Cruz. A finals MVP for that polo team with coaches Jens Nutel and coach Jericho Aling. Oh, Lester Reyes with a jumper for Mindoro.
The most unlikely guy in this 5 on the floor for the Mindoro Tamaraos as Simon Sandagon scores inside to sink a shot late in the 24-second shot clock for the Tamaraos. It's Lester Reyes.
Can Quezon make a stop? Still down by 4. 50 seconds. Tate Teodoro against Cyrus Torres. Tate dancing, step back, dagger! Tate Teodoro with a big-time game here in Abra.
Mix, I'd hate to say this, but Tate Teodoro has been putting on a clinic against Cyrus Torres in this game. The way that he's been manhandling his defense has been, for me, demoralizing. You see the look on Cyrus Torres' face. He has really been having a hard time against this hot scorer in Tate Teodoro.
19 points, 4 3-pointers. And there's the ultimate reaction from Tate Teodoro. Was it actually the dagger? We have 42 seconds to find out. Mayor J.B. Bernos is already present here inside the Governor Andres Bernos Memorial Coliseum. Later on, the Abra Weavers will be hosting against the Iloilo United Royals. But before that, it's Pangasinan versus South Cotabato. And right now, the Quezon Huskers are looking to make a big-time comeback. Down by 7 with 42 seconds to go. Now, again, we have seen stranger things happen even in this season alone of the MPBL. Batangas has done it twice. Once against the Quezon Huskers at Quezon Province, trailing by 6 points in the last 20 seconds, and they were able to force the game into overtime. Against Quezon City as well, down by 8 in the last 40. Let's see if Quezon can do the same as Jodel Fuentes makes a three-pointer.
And that's exactly the guy who helped Quezon rise from the ashes in that game against Quezon City. Fourth quarter man here for the Quezon Huskers. Jodel Fuentes knocking down another big shot. That's a good flare screen set by Simon Sandagon, and the recognition coming from LJ Gonzalez. Those two guys have been working well in the penultimate frames this season for the Quezon Huskers.
Fuentes started the ball game 1 out of 11 from the field. He has made his last 3 three-pointers. It is 62-58. Del Fuentes averages 11 points per game on 34% field goal shooting, 30% from downtown. In their previous outing, he had 14, 10 in the second half, and he's doing the same thing here versus Mindoro.
Yeah, you know, trying to light a fire here for the Quezon Huskers, just like he did in a lot of their games this season. Jodel Fuentes coming alive here in the fourth quarter. You saw that his averages were only 11 points per game this season. Not really the type of numbers you would put up if you're Jodel Fuentes, former member of the mythical first team here in our league. Usually good for 15 to 20 points a game. But the added help here in this Quezon Huskers squad has brought him to bring down his numbers.
Mindoro has possession. They break down the press. Mindoro cross-court to Reyes. Quezon still applying it. That's going to be their 14th foul. 30 seconds to go, 15 on the shot clock for Tate Teodoro and company. Sideline. Almost a turnover. Now it's a foul, which means free throws for Tate.
Not really the guy you want to put on the line there if you're the Quezon Huskers. They had no other choice there. They wanted to get the foul right away to avoid many seconds from getting off of that game clock.
Mindoro is 13 out of 20 from the free throw line so far. That is 65%. Teodoro to reach 20 points. Yes. He's now 4 out of 6 from the stripe.
Always love it when you see Tate Teodoro deliver this kind of vintage performance, proving to everybody in the league that he still can mix it up with the best of them.
Mindoro's going to have one good journey on their ride home from Abra. If they actually hold on to this 6-point advantage with 29 seconds to go, this would be the last timeout for Coach Richie Tixon. Can Quezon respond? We'll find out in the next sequences. JJ Caspe's triple-double performance featured 25 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, 11 points coming in the fourth quarter. He doesn't have a triple-double in this game, but are you still impressed?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, coming off of that kind of performance, you would expect young players like him to dip in terms of delivering the numbers in the next game after a performance like that. But he has shown the resilience, and he has shown that despite going up against one of the top guards in the league in LJ Gonzalez, he did not back down, and he was able to help Mindoro big time in this game, joining hands with Tete Teodoro to help Mindoro maybe get this victory against the Quezon Huskers. There are only 28 seconds remaining. They only need one more stop.
By the way, Casper also has 3 steals. That's the only stat where he has matched the output of Gonzalez. Everything else, it's more for JJ. Back with the Huskers. 14-second differential. Gonzalez onto their hot hand. Fuentes makes yet another 3-pointer.
He just really has a knack of knocking down shots when the going gets tough. Crunch man para dito sa Quezon Huskers, Judel Fuentes. That's not an easy shot, but once again, look who delivered that pass. LJ Gonzalez, Lester Reyes, his long arms trying to get in the way of that shot, but to no avail. Judel Fuentes with a big-time bucket.
That's 4 threes in this quarter for Judel. Almost a 5-second violation. De La Cruz will turn that ball over.
That was off of his foot. Oh my goodness.
It's a 1-possession game, no timeouts remaining. Jordan Rios and Art Aquino, former champions, back into play defense. They join Lester Reyes and JJ Caspe. There should be another guy for Mindoro. While it's Gab Banal, LJ Gonzalez, Cyrus Torres, Judel Fuentes, and Simon Sandagon as Sombero checks in for Mindoro. The Huskers are down by 3 with 17 seconds to go. They have 14 seconds to work with. And they make 3-pointer number 13. And there's a foul given up. That's number 4 for the Tamaraws.
Once again, just like in that game against Pasay, the 3-point shooting of the Quezon Huskers have kept them afloat in this game, giving them a chance of getting back. Let's see if they can complete this comeback.
Gonzalez gets it back. Fuentes, the deadliest guy on the court for 3. No good. Rebound, Jordan Rios. And he's fouled. The biggest stop of the game for the Tamaraws. And who else got the board? The shooting guard, who's one of the best rebounders in the history of the MPBL.
I don't think you could get a better look than this. Right off the weave action on top, the handoff by Gonzalez, locating Fuentes. Nobody really near him to make an impact defensively in stopping that shot. It's a little bit far from the 3-point line, but we've seen Fuentes make those kinds of shots even in his sleep.
Rios made his first free throw. This is his first stint at the line. Look at how happy these Tamaraws are. They're going to have one great journey home. The second for Jordan. That's good. It has to be a miracle for Quezon. Gonzalez playing it fast. The 3-pointer, no good. And that's it. This is the biggest win in the season for the Mindoro Tamaraws, and it's back-to-back losses for the Quezon Huskers.
Oh, you know, one thing I forgot to mention in the game, Coach Jer Kawaling and Coach Jens Newton, I'm sure they're very, very proud right now with the win that they got because they went up against their former assistant coach in FEU, Coach Richie Tixon.
It's beaming with pride for them. Same goes for Tete Teodoro, our best player of the game. Brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. We spent some time figuring out who was going to be the best player for Mindoro, but Tete just gave us the dagger, and that was the ultimate answer.
Yeah, you know, he came up when Mindoro was down, gave them the lead in the second half, continued his play here when they needed big shots. JJ Caspe kept them afloat and kept them in control, but Tete Teodoro really put on the bigger shots in this game for the Mindoro Tamaraws.
It's 4 3-pointers, 21 points in only 18 minutes of play for Tete Teodoro. This final score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX 66-61 for the Mindoro Tamaraws. Let's turn you over to Andrea Endicio.
Thank you, Migs. Our daily fantasy best player of this game, walang iba kundi si Mr. Hot Hands, Tete Teodoro. First of all, congratulations. Tete, yung 3-point dagger mo noong last 50 seconds of this ball game seal the deal para sa inyo. During that time, gaano ka ka-sure dun sa tira mo? What made you decide to take it?
Yung kumpiyansa hindi talaga nawawala sa akin yon. Since day 1 na mag-basketball ako, and then akala nga namin dagger na to yun, pero si Fuentes never give up eh. So still nag-compose kami para makuha namin tong panalo.
And undoubtedly, this is the biggest win of the Mindoro Tamaraws this season. Sa tingin mo, paano nyo nagawa ito?
For me, Quezon yun. Number 1 team yun. So for me, sa amin lahat, never give up lang talaga. Laban lang kami every game.
Very well said. Meron ka bang gustong batiin o pasalamatan?
Siyempre, unang-una, babatiin ko yung mayor namin na wala sawang sumusuporta sa amin. Mayor Ina Alegre, maraming salamat po. And then, sa asawa ko, sa anak ko, sino pa ba? Yung mga relatives ko. And then, sa mga lahat ng mga taga Mindoro, para sa inyo to. Hindi kami give up. Thank you, thank you.
Alright, thank you so much. Once again, that is Tate Teodoro, our best player of the game, brought to us by Daily Fantasy. Sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Back to you guys.
There you have it, a statement win for the Mindoro Tamaraws here in Abra. So that's only the first game of our triple header. Up next, we have South Cotabato versus Pangasinan. Let's see which coach will actually win in this nice battle of mentors, of leaders in Jerson Gabiltes and Elvis Tolentino. Thank you for joining us in our first game, folks. Big congratulations to the Mindoro Tamaraws for getting their biggest win of the season so far. For Andre Indicio and Javi Palanya, my name is Migs Gomez at magbabalik ko po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.